clap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. What's up, BBC? Can you guys hear me in the back okay? Awesome. Wonderful. My name is Ronnie P. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am obsessed with taking photos, anything business, anything branding. I am the founder of Business Blend Collective. Essentially, just to piggyback off what Elise said, is a place for our community to come together, to connect, to collaborate, to let our hair down and have some fun. We are recording here live at Toastique, downtown Sarasota, for our BBC Live, for our podcast, for our Beyond the Blend podcast. Since BBC is a free networking group, all I ask is that you support Laura. So whether you buy a matcha, a toast, a juice, or anything, or if you're not thirsty, find a friend and T-Pain, I'ma buy you a drink. Yeah, one more time, everybody. T-Pain says, I'ma buy you a drink. Kim and I were supposed to go see T-Pain, but then it just didn't happen. We were gonna go to T-Pain. Chris Brown's coming in December. I'm just saying. Okay, focus. Okay, yay, I'm so happy to be here. Today, we have something very special. She might be small, fun-sized, but mighty. She's the definition of a powerhouse, somebody who really leads with grace and passion. She helps people step into their voice, into their power, and invites them and empowers them to step into bigger rooms. She is an author, and she also really celebrates and empowers women. So can we give some snaps for DeDee Cai? How are you?
Fantastic. How are you guys? That's right.
So good. Okay, I have a question that I didn't really plan on. Every single time we hit the record button, like, I'm fine, but as soon as it hits record and everyone's staring at me, all of a sudden my heart's like thumping, and I'm like, what are words? Does that ever go away?
No, and you don't want to
Okay.
for it to ever go away. I'll tell you more why a little bit later.
Okay, cool. Okay, my first question. So, oftentimes when I meet someone, I think, like, why are the way that they are? But, like, when I'm around you, you obviously, like, are such a passionate, like, firecracker. Like, there's, like, when you're around you, you, like, feel that. It's a little contagious. Like, were you born with it? Or, like, did something happen to, like, ignite that in you?
I was absolutely not born with it. I am also an introvert. And just really through my life experiences and I would say traumas, like we all have some level of that, but being able just to really learn more about myself and anchor my stories truly as part of my life purpose is what lights the fire every single time. And I always say that your pain is your purpose for that reason too, and hence why the book. But the fire comes with me seeing transformation in other women and just really believing in the calling, right? First and foremost, thank you, Ronnie, for having me. Thank you to each and every one of you who showed up this morning. Because you can do anything. You can do anything you want to, right? We have the freedom to do that. But you chose to be here. You chose to be in this conversation right now, and I don't take that lightly. And that gets to be the light of a conversation, and you get to be the light because you are not only showing up for yourself, you're showing up for all of us. That's what BBC is about. So that's just really honestly my why I show up, because on the worst days, when I know that if I can say something to someone that is going to have them leave thinking that they can believe in themselves again, that's the light.
Who did that for you?
It's a really great question.
I know that wasn't like what I was going to ask you, but you know.
I have to say my grandfather. He was a human activist for Vietnam, and he also was the advisor for the former president before 1975. And the one thing that he really taught me was that you can be the light with the worst case scenario for someone. Because your story is meant to be shared. The worse it is, just the more committed you should be in sharing it. And my grandfather told me that. It's like, you know what? Just be bold enough to say what you need to say. And stand ultimately for what you believe in, even when no one believes in you. You are the first one to have to do that for yourself. So I think for me, it's my grandfather, and then myself, all these years of self-development.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, so you are an author. You wrote this book, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but you are in the mix of writing another one. We are going to have a book signing after, so if you didn't get a book or you want a book signed after the giveaway, we'll do that. But I just want to know, where did the inspo for this book come from?
Yeah, going back to my grandfather, he always wanted to write a book. Just because he has done so much in his life, he didn't get a chance to. He basically helped raise me. And so during the pandemic, I just basically slipped straight into depression and realized that I don't know what was happening. And instead of being caught up in the negative and what's going on in the news, and honestly, it was crazy. We were grocery shopping, and all of a sudden I started pulling all the food, all the toilet paper and everything, and started like stacking my carts. And I was like, you're going crazy. So I committed to myself to really channel that positively, and I said, you know, what about writing a book? What about doing what my grandfather taught me to do and taking advantage of really channeling it for good? And that was my challenge for myself, was like, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to leave something behind, you know, for my kids when it's my time to go, because my grandfather didn't get a chance to do that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I wrote the book for me. I was date raped when I was 15. I lost my best friend to suicide the week of my wedding. 2 girls, right? 2 different moments. But neither of us stood up for ourselves. So the overcomer is just really to demonstrate all of the things that I've gone through, but really gave me the light and the fire to come through the other side. So for my grandfather, for myself, and for anyone who is going through tough times in your life and business, and just to know that you can overcome anything. Any challenge in your life is temporary. If you believe it, you're standing right here, sitting right here right now, is because you have overcome 100% of all the craziest shit that you have experienced, yes? Yes. So remember that. Like, you are an overcomer, you can overcome anything. So that's why I wrote the book. So hopefully, whether you are hearing from me today or you're getting the book, just to really have that be the reflection for what you're truly capable of. Because if I can do it, being introvert, public speaking was for the longest time one of my biggest fears. Guess what? I'm doing it anyway, right? So same for you, for anything that you overcome, to be an entrepreneur, it's not easy. What did I have? Lauren asked me, is this like your element? I'm like, well, yeah, no, not really. But I really believe that us entrepreneurs we're a very different breed. We think differently, we do crazy stuff, and most of the time, things that people would never imagine ever doing in their lives as entrepreneurs. So, hope that answered your question.
Thank you for your leadership and vulnerability, right? Being able to stand before people and letting them know that's okay to do that. It means a lot. I'm curious, when you were like sitting down to write this, right? You're like sitting with your story, you're sitting with these pains, you're sitting with these traumas. What was that process like in the pandemic? Like you were isolated. Like, what was that like?
So you know how they say, probably you might have heard, that entrepreneurship is like self-development on steroids? You believe that? Yeah. Writing a book is another level of healing. It's another level of healing. Seeing your life and then being able to see all the accomplishments that you have. And ultimately, I was sharing this with Sloan and also Lauren. The last chapter in this book, I didn't think that I was going to ever include in the book. It was very last minute through the editing process, literally right before I had to send off my manuscript, was when I said, DeDee, you wanted to write this book because you wanted to tell the story that is in chapter 13. And if you don't do that, you'll be the biggest coward ever. So the process is very healing when it comes to really acknowledging yourself for what you have overcome, for what you have accomplished. And truly, if you want to own your voice, be heard, and truly leave a legacy behind, I encourage you to write a book. The best tour ever. That's why sometimes people take years to write it, because it is a healing journey for you.
So beautiful. I had a question for you, but you just answered it for me, essentially. My question is your leadership style, because I had the opportunity to work with you. I told you that God told me to speak, and that's my biggest fear, right? I said that's why BBC was born, and that's why I'm being called to speak. God told me to, I'm saying yes even though I'm scared. And you said, great, I'm gonna help you write a signature talk for 5 minutes for a stage of women, 100 people. You ready? I was like, okay. But even that last part, that chapter 13 part, when I wrote my signature talk, I was like, this is my talk. And you're like, great job. But this is boring. This is boring. This is boring. You talk about the power of vulnerability, but where's your vulnerability, right? Kind of like that chapter 13, you know? So, that part of you, also too, you believed in me before I believed in myself. This was just a thought, and you're like, no, this is action, right? That leadership that you have, the way that you coach, I want to hear more about that.
I just honestly believe that each and every one of us is created for a reason. And because of our conditioning, whatever happened to you, all of the things, somehow we have survived through dimming it down. And you just need someone to say, yes, you can do it. And it's crazy enough, whether it's taking the first freaking seat or going to a networking event for the very first time when you didn't know anybody. It's because you also know what you're made of, right? And I think that's my impact on this planet, is that it just to remind you of how freaking amazing. I just realized I dropped a bomb earlier with the kids. I'm being mindful now. But you are so incredible, and you have to believe that. And I'm just honestly here to remind you of how amazing you are. If you're already, again, I can keep saying it over and over. If you're sitting here and you're an entrepreneur, that's it. You're in the game. You're just gonna have to keep going. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to keep trusting, right? Yeah. And just know that your talent and your gift is actually a way for people to believe in themselves too. We're not in just business, guys. We're in business for people. We're in the people business. Truly. If you are serving, I don't care if you're buying a smoothie, but this is how we're collectively making a difference and creating opportunities for ourselves and creating, to create the impact that you want to create with your own talents. So to answer your question, I don't usually tell you what to do when I coach or work with you, but my biggest job is just keep reminding you of your talents and what it is you're already made of, and you get to make the decision for what you want to do with your business, because ultimately you are the CEO of your business. I'm just here reminding you of okay, that sounds great, but here are the potholes. So you get to decide if you want to go that route, but ultimately, what do you want to do for your business? You get to take responsibility for that.
I love that. I feel right, I love what you said about how, right, we get to take our pains and turn it into power. And we've all been through something in our life. We all have a message. We all have something that we've overcome that can help somebody else, right? And we all, as entrepreneurs, know we're here for a purpose, right? And we can hear, you just have to do it. Like, you can hear that you're made for this, but what about a message for the one who's like, I know this, but I'm stuck. I know this, but how? I know this, but like what is the message to them to like light that fire? Like, yes, you can. Like, is it an action? Is it words to just like knock them over the freaking fence? Like what? Like you either gotta push them or you just gotta wait for them to go. But any words for that woman?
Yeah. Well, if
Or
you
men.
hang out with us, if with me specifically, I will love and shove you at the same time. So you can do that for yourself too, right? And
So like surrounding yourself with people who like are pulling you along or pushing you, that motivate you, that inspire you.
yeah, I would say listen to the little nudges.
The what?
The little nudges. There's always this knowing deep inside of you if you get quiet enough. It's just we get so busy, right? Like, and at some level, I can tell you the higher level you are, the more money you make, it's not going to be action. It's going to be a lot of contemplation. It's going to be a lot of strategy and really sitting back and really seeing the whole big picture. And what I would to tell you if you're feeling stuck or anything like that, those are just stories. What if you, instead of saying, oh, I feel stuck, ask yourself, what if I'm not? Right? Right there, you see the shift when I said that. And then when you're asking yourself, what if I'm not stuck? What would I do? That's going back to learning how to trust yourself again, especially when you are an entrepreneur, because there's so many things, there's so many coaches, there's so many programs, there's so many different ways to build and run a business, but only you know what works for you. And I would say just take that first initial action, baby steps, but get really quiet and allow yourself a lot of space to think about what you're building, and comes back to, why are you doing it? Why? Right? I don't have the biggest social media following or anything like that, but I don't need that to light me up, right? It's through small conversations, but it's ultimately trusting yourself in the process, no matter what.
I feel like I can hear you talk all day. It's like her voice like carries and moves, you know? I love that so much. DeDee, you have an event coming up in September. And this is something that I've witnessed and watched, even like in the beginning parts, or just like, and just watched you like thing after thing kind of build and move from a place of passion and purpose. Who is this event for? When is it happening? And what is it? Can you tell us about it?
Oh my gosh, this, I would say, a God-sized assignment, guys. It's taking everything from me. And when I say that, I mean it. I have some women here who have been with me for months trying to help me like decide if this is the thing that we should really do. But ultimately, as I have been sharing with you, is that it's not what you do as an entrepreneur, is who you are being. Who are you being? And the three biggest elements to truly being successful as an entrepreneur, and also to be at the same time simultaneously fulfilled, is you have to be fully seen, fully heard, and how are you going to be remembered when your time is up? So these 3 days, we're going to take you through processes to where you can do that. On the first day, it's all about being seen as an entrepreneur with your talent and your gifts. Second day, how do you use your voice to be able to collaborate with other women and also share your message with the masses? Lastly, we're going to teach you how to embody your own power, right? And I mean that quiet power when you're by yourself. Who's going to pick yourself up? You. You're the only one that can do that. So that third day is all about being remembered, and then also we get to celebrate you. We have 4 different awards that we're going to be giving out the last evening of the I'm like getting all...
I know.
So it's not for how much money you make, guys. It's, are you a movement maker? Are you an impact creator? You know, are you brave enough to do the stuff? I almost slipped. To do the stuff that is required for you to be known. And then lastly, are you going to go first, right? If you are a leader, you got to go first. And it's not a conference because you are not going to sit and just listen and just chill and get on your phone when you feel like it. It's not that. You're going to be taking through processes and activations for you to do those 3 things. And then not only that, you are also going to be completely transformed. I have been to through 2 events in my entire life where it turned me inside out. For me to become who I am today, sitting in front of you with a microphone without like having a panic attack. And I want to be able to deliver that in community. So it's not my event. Please let me be clear. It is our event. There's no way I could pull it off, but we had a launch meeting yesterday with literally almost 40 affiliate partners from all over the world, across the states, across the countries, and then across 3 different continents. So we have people from North America, Asia, and also South America. So it's a movement for women as entrepreneurs especially to be seen, to be heard, and to be remembered for her work in the world. September 10th through the 12th at the Vinoy in St. Pete's. So if you're up for an experience, you want to get uncomfortable, you want to see what you're made up of and how capable you are, that's my invitation for you.
Thank you. I'm like really grateful that you've been here and just sharing this. I feel like you've been somebody that I've been able to really look up to and be someone that I can have questions asked. But I'm going to open up the floor for questions. Kim's going to take over the Q&A part here.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for lovely DeDee? Yes, Sloan. So you're going to say it, I'll repeat it so that everyone can hear. How do we get tickets? Do you have?
Yes.
Are they available?
They are available. I can definitely share it to Ronnie. She's going to send out a follow-up email with the landing page for that. Right now, it's just pre-exclusive sales, so it's not public yet until we fully launch. So please take advantage of the pre-sale pricing before we go public in the next couple of weeks. Okay. I said 300 yesterday, and I had objections of my people going, 300? We're going for 500. Woo!
500, amazing. But get your seats quick.
Yes.
Don't wait.
Wait.
Was there another question over here? Yes. Say it again? What was in chapter 13?
I'm going to keep it PG
Okay.
or rated G.
Earmuffs.
But it's more details about what happened to me when I was 15.
Like in terms of trauma.
Yes.
Because we had talked about that too.
Yes.
You said your book is rated PG-13.
It is not
Oh.
PG-13. But I was saying
Yeah,
G
yeah.
because
Yes. Okay. But we had talked before, and she said that there are topics in here, so it's not like.
Yeah, so
for
it's
young
essentially chapter 13 is about how I was taken advantage of when I was younger sexually, and I was going to omit that. I didn't want the world to know. But that was liberation.
Yeah.
Because it's without that, I wouldn't be up here.
Any other questions? Yes.
What do you think business owners focus on too much that actually dilutes their focus into what they should be focusing on?
Okay, so the question was, what do business owners focus on that's actually taking their attention away from what's important?
Yeah.
Like, what are the little things that we're worried about?
Yeah, business owners like to be busy. You're doing too many things. I want you to ask yourself this question. What would be the one big domino for me this year? Just like I shared with you, this event is my big domino. That's the only thing I'm fixated on, obsessed with. So rather being busy, most of us are, trust me, I did this for years when I first started. Instead of being busy, are you producing? What is that going to produce you? That conversation, I'm not saying to always be drawn with the monetary rewards, but it has to be intentional, right? It's just like, instead, can I do less but produce the same amount and or more? That is the question you should ask yourself to keep yourself aligned with what you need to be doing.
So I was actually talking to Rebecca before we got started, and she is like doing all the systems. She's using AI to create checklists and respond to emails. So she's like really thinking higher level, like what's taking up my time? I'm gonna have AI do that so I can focus on the big domino. And I think you said this before of like, we need to be visionaries, or like there's like the leaders and then there's like the big thinkers.
Yeah, and if you do have a lot to do, and I trust me when I say that, I have 2 kids too and all of the things. So ask yourself, like, can this task or whatever you have on your to-do list, can it be automated? First of all, delegated. Can it be delegated? Can it be automated? Because we have so much technology, guys, right? And then otherwise, if you can't be delegated, it can't be automated, it's time to eliminate it. Because it's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah. But also I feel like people get caught up on little things like, oh, my video is not getting a lot of views, or like, I should be what if I get my name out there using this and this and this? And like, those are little things, not a big domino.
Yeah, and also too, it's so easy to be caught up with the things that you're supposed to do. I mean, again, confession, I'm not big with social media, but that doesn't stop me from building my business. I'm more in person. I want to get to know you. Do it your way. Like what, I always teach marketing strategies with like what aligns with you. Mm-hmm. That's why speaking, when I first started my business, they're like, become a speaker. I'm like, no, I want to die. So has to be with you, aligning to what is capable for you at the moment, but having excitement and joy behind it. Don't do anything that people are doing or what that looks good. I will look really crazy if I do certain videos like Kim would. You know what I mean? Like, and she has so many followers, but that's Kim. I can't be Kim, right? You have to be you. With however you're running your business, whatever marketing strategy you're using, it has to be in alignment with who you are. And once you have that alignment, trust me, you will know exactly where to go, what you need to do, with the lens of, is this 10x my effort? Can I just do 20% of what I need to do in my business that's gonna produce me 80% of the results?
Also, just a side note, I feel like that's a great opportunity to have those collaborations. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people in this room that I feel like could be working together, like our social media girls that came here for the first time today, Kelly and Ashley, yeah. Sage and Citrus, yeah. Marketing agency, helping small businesses in Sarasota. Like, so if you are wanting to delegate a task like that, DeDee, who said, I'm not good at social media, right there. And I feel like there's so many other connections in this room.
Exactly.
Any other questions? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to do it alone, right? Like, collaborate. Any other questions? This is my personal invitation.
Oh, we go in.
It's kind of a statement for other people, but I also just went through the book raise process and launched in November. But I want to know, how long did you have the idea and spark of writing a book, and how long would it actually take you?
Okay.
Like, I had an idea for 3 years, but it actually only took me 3 days to write my book once I got it.
Wait a second. Okay, so I have to repeat the question just for our recordings, but also so everyone in the back can hear. The question was, how long does it take to come up with the idea and the concept, and then how long does it take to write a book? And I know it's different for everyone. She just told me 3 days she wrote a book, but she had the idea for 3 years. So like, can you tell us a little bit about the process of writing a book?
Well, the idea was sparked when I was 15, when I realized that my grandfather, I thought he was going to write a book, but then he didn't. So when I was 15, so it was about 20-something years by the time I was like, I'm going to do it for him. And then the process of actually writing it didn't take that long either, because I mean, I have a good habit of a journaler already, right? And I was podcasting at the time, so it was really easy for me to pull all the things together. And the longest, whatever took the most time, was the editing process, believe it or not. It's because you're like, okay, is that going to really be potent enough for the audience? It's like, you know this, it takes forever to overthink stuff, right? That's why editing takes forever. So, but all in all, this was done within, honestly, I would say 8 months.
So you knew you wanted to write a book at 15, but there was a gap, and then you were like, okay, now's the time. Was there anything that told you, was that like a quiet nudge, like you said? Or like, what was it that
No,
got
it was
you
in
to
my face. Like, if I don't do something positively with my energy and channel it for good during the pandemic, I was
Yeah.
gonna go crazy.
Yes.
So it was a very quick decision. I'm like, nope, not doing that. I'm going to rechannel my energy.
So don't wait for another pandemic, please, to write a book.
Yeah,
Just start.
just start.
You can just start. Any final questions for DeDee? Oh, here we go.
So I wonder, I love what you said, can't remember the word you used, but you said, what's your next 2 big events or your next 2 that you want to meet? And we focus on that. So what do you recommend for entrepreneurs that are all over the place? And I know you said all the steps like
Yes,
automate.
I love it.
Can you
So
repeat
your
the
biggest
question?
domino, right? Choose your biggest domino, okay? Whichever project that you think you should take on next, I want you to 10x it. If you say, for example, I'm gonna host an event, I'm gonna host 10 people. That means you need to 10x that. Just like I have hosted smaller events before, 20, 30, 100. But 300 people, not only that, in 3 days, you get to choose your next big domino, because I guarantee you that when you raise the stake, right, you have no reasons to back out. You need to, like, Tony Robbins like to say, burn the boat, or
Yes.
like put yourself against the wall kind of situation. But that's how you know how capable you are.
Yes.
Yes. What's your next project?
Tell us, tell us. A team of 50 agents for what's the business? Financial services.
And that's your very stretchy 10x goal.
Oh, 500. We got a 10x it.
Okay. So 50 times 10 is 500. But do you see that exercise we just did? It's so easy. Okay, if you want to really dive deep on this, 10x is easier than 2x. Read that book. Because here's the thing, when you tell yourself, I'm just gonna double, so easy, right? Double the effort, double whatever. But when you say 10x, you're like, whoa, what is that going to take? Then you are forced to throw everything away and focus on only the essentials, right? Like the really small focused steps of how you're going to get there. But that expands you on another level. Who do I need to be? Who do I need to know? What do I need to do? Because it's on whole other level when you 10x it, your goal.
It makes you operate at a different level. And then also, I think when you set that goal of like, I need 500, but let's say you only hit like 90, that's still almost double the 50 you started with.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
So you're still like, it's like that shoot for the moon and you land among the stars, kind of cheesy, but true.
But
it's so
it's
true.
exactly that, because you can trick yourself to like, I'm gonna fail, right? I'm gonna fail, versus like, it's gonna be so big, I'm gonna like overdo it, giving it all I have, and you always gonna exceed your minimal goal. That's how it works.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Woo! Send it.
That's right. Yes, and you start working on embodying that, right? Like, what does it take for me to have 500 agents under me? Like, and really stepping into that.
I have a question for you, piggybacking off of that. So I love like the mindset component of like, who do I need to be? How am I going to operate and expand? How do you hold that, like, when throughout the process?
It's going to be baby steps, and which compounds over time. It's not going to be an overnight. I'm still am a work in progress, but I've been working on myself since 15. Right? So give yourself first and foremost, promise yourself this. Like I said, until I hit my whatever dream goal this year, is that I also have a promise to myself that I'm going to love myself in the process. Just like you are going to like assign yourself the next goal, did you acknowledge yourself for the little things? The fact that you didn't want to get up this morning and go to a thing like this, but you did. Women especially, I love our men too, don't have this much of a problem. But women, we do not acknowledge ourselves or celebrate ourselves enough. The men, they're like, let's go golfing, yeah! You know, all the crazy stuff. But women, we're just so by nature to serve and to give, and we're not as good with acknowledging ourselves in the process, because I can tell you, that's what gives you the fire every single day. I literally was in the bathroom giving myself a pep talk before I came out here. Right? It's every day. It's very little things that you do for yourself to acknowledge yourself in the process. So it's not just mindset, because you hear about it enough, but it's really deciding for yourself, what is the one thing that I'm going to do every day that I can remind myself how amazing I am? For me, it just could be just simple as like, can you just get up and put on regular clothes instead of working in your freaking pajamas? Put on the most audacious outfit and get on Zoom. Right? It's all energetic. It's like, yeah, you're laughing, but true. But it's like the little time that you can really spend for yourself and doing the things because you are worth it.
Or I like to call it being delusional and just like tricking myself into like, I got this. Totally don't. Delulu.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Ronnie, did you have a question? We want to hear what goes, that inner self-talk from the bathroom. What did you say? Tell us.
I just look at myself straight in the eye and like, you got this. You've done this before. Who do you need to see? And focus on the one person that needs to hear it the most.
So good.
That's what I said in the bathroom. I'm like,
In the bathroom, you guys.
in the bathroom mirror. Well, I go like this.
Yeah.
You got this, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Chuck? Chuck asked, just based off of like trauma, like you need that daily affirmation and that positive talk. Otherwise, and like trauma aside, like I think we all just, it's so easy to just be negative and look at all the bad things. So Chuck said he does daily affirmations? A daily, but he's asking if DeDee has a morning routine. Yeah.
Yeah. All of the above. I do have a pretty religious morning routine. My kids get up really early. I get up 2 hours before them because of that. I need to do the work. So my routine is literally get up, make my coffee, drink my water. Literally devotional is the first thing. Right? And then I meditate. I get really quiet. And then I journal. Sometimes it doesn't happen. You might have to journal at a coffee shop. You guys saw me. But I wouldn't skip it. Especially when I need to show up in this seat, I still need to do that. So I had to journal. So yes, and it doesn't have to be elaborated like that, right? It could literally, before you put your feet on the ground, you say, thank you, you have another day. Just know that we don't take that lightly, right? We all have been affected by certain death and illness and things like that. It is a gift when you have another day to do what you love and help the people that you need to help. It's gratitude is the number one thing. In fact, my kids do affirmations in the morning, and then they do gratitudes at night. So yes, it has to be a daily practice. And yes, initially you may not believe it. Trust me, on days when stuff hit the fans, I'm like, do you really love yourself? You know? But it's if you do it enough, yes, you're going to start believing it. Just like you've been told XYZ. I was told I was going to amount to nothing. Whoa, that's like crazy, but I believed it for a long time. So I had to do the work to like rewire that. So just love yourself in the process. Give yourself time that you give to other people. Literally, it could be 5 minutes, but commit to that.
I heard a quote once that was, how you live your day, like an average day, is how you live your life. And then how you start your day is how you live your day. So starting your day is really important. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. There's a book called Miracle Morning, and there's one Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs, there's Miracle Morning for moms. It starts with 5 minutes, and it's like 1 minute of movement, 1 minute of like doing something spiritual, 1 minute of journaling, 1 minute, like literally 5 minutes. So you do not have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Whatever time you're getting up. I wake up early too, but I feel so much better, and just being able to set the tone and just taking over your thoughts immediately just makes the day so much better. So great question.
And if it helps for all of us to neutralize everything, whether you're like optimistic and like enthusiastic and passionate or not, and you can have a bad day, the best affirmation that has worked for me over the years is I am enough. That is my password on my laptop. I am. Can you imagine when you're like, I have to answer that email? I am enough. I don't have to prove myself. You know what I mean? I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to convince this person to buy from me.
Yeah.
I am enough.
Ooh, typing that out over and over. That's so smart.
I invite you to it. It's going to change your life, change mine. When I'm like, I am enough no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Any other questions? Well, thank you, DeDee. That was
Yes.
so great.
Thank you.
Raffles. Are we ready? We're going to do some raffles, so don't leave. Everyone who left can no longer win.
You must be here. Give it up one more time for our special guest today, DeDee. And of course, Ronnie and Kim, thank you guys so much. We are getting ready to do our raffle. So we have the raffle bag. Put it in.